This is certainly a very great and long-awaited day for this community. This project really had its beginnings with the first Benham report completed in November of 2005. That report was an evaluation of the police department, and it certainly outlined the inadequacies of the facilities. Since then, Edmond has been seeking a way to respond to the significant limitations of the cramped office space and the holding cells that were no longer adequate for a growing community. Excuse me. We also identified a serious functional space need for our critical 911 center. We needed to keep them out of the water. And emergency management operations. It took us many years of committee work, numerous public meetings, and 2 elections to find the right equation of functions, locations, and a funding source that the Edmond citizens would support. We now have an innovative design for facilities that will take us into the future, 20 years or more. Just a couple of comments about the project itself. I'm excited that we will be using the geothermal technology in this facility for the heating and cooling, because I believe it'll keep the utility bills low, but it will also help our important business of Edmond Electric with an improved load factor. And we've also designed community meeting space into this project for the general public use. I know others speaking here today will expand on this special project, so I want to finish my comments with a slightly different perspective. To begin, our vision statement from the Tomorrow's Edmond project says Edmond will be a diverse and innovative hometown committed to excellence through leadership, balanced growth, and cooperation. These high standards will only be accomplished by citizen participation. I believe this Public Safety Center project advances us on the important points of that vision. It is located downtown, which is what we call our hometown, and it will add another 25+ million in investment to the existing 18+ million in capital improvements that the city has already made to the downtown over the last 15 years. We exhibited leadership by learning from our previous actions and all of our discussions to define an excellent project which includes police facilities, 911, and emergency management functions, and more particularly a funding source that will build the center when it's complete will be debt-free. Those combined efforts balanced our need to grow and won the cooperation of the voters. It will set a new standard for the look of our city campus. It will be a design with design and finishes that represent the historical look of downtown, primarily Broadway, and that meets the size and technical needs of tomorrow of Edmond's of tomorrow. No more white stucco. It will help to establish the importance of Littler as a major link of pedestrian and vehicular movement across 2nd Street. And I certainly hope that it sets the stage for even more dramatic uses of the city's significant land holdings along Littler that could provide a future economic boost to downtown Edmond. Today, the various government functions, the city, the county offices, and the state offices are an important reason many people even come downtown. Building in the built environment is going to be challenging, and during the construction, it will be at best inconvenient. But this new facility will be a significant paradigm shift for downtown Edmond and the beginning of a new bright future. So I'm going to close my comments by saying we worked hard to get to this point, and I'm excited to finally get this project underway. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Up next, we'd like to hear from Chief of Police, Bob Ricks.
Mayor, you did such a great job. I won't just say, well, whatever he said. That was just great. I think it's most incumbent upon me, though, to thank those who made this possible. It truly was a community effort. When I look around and so many people are here that participated in that effort, I really could spend all day thanking everyone, from citizens groups to the political groups to the Chamber of Commerce. Everyone had a significant hand in it, although there were 2 people that I want to specifically recognize. One is our city manager, who never gave up on this project and realized the importance of it throughout. And then specifically our mayor, Charles Lamb. Without Charles, I have no doubt that we would not be standing here today. He was the one key person from the very beginning who understood, because he had actually personal experience with trying to negotiate through the Edmond Police Department when you had a specific issue that needed to be addressed, that never gave up. Was willing to stand behind the project even when we had gone to the people once before and it actually had failed. did not deter him. He decided to come back. Let's put it back in a new format, and let's make this happen. And today, we're here because of his willingness to stand up, the tenacious efforts that he did to make this thing happen. Let's give him a round of applause. Probably the most important group, though, that I can recognize would be the residents of Edmond. When we think about when the vote was taken 2 years ago, where were we as an economy nationwide, and even in Edmond? We had gone through 2 years of declining sales tax revenue. Our picture was not looking well. We were not able to hire people. We were fortunate we were not laying off people, but we were in a downward spiral. But what did the residents of Edmond do? They stood up to the task. They went forward and voted for a new police department and a new public safety center, one that would continue to provide the resources necessary to keep Edmond the safest city in Oklahoma. And the reasons that they are so important, people move to Edmond because, one, great schools, but also because of the safe environment in which we live. We, the members of the Edmond Police Department, we're dedicated to keeping Edmond the safest city in Oklahoma, and this new facility will help make that possible. We are now going to have a first-class facility that will represent the first-class people that we have in Edmond. And we will do everything in our power to keep Edmond that safe community that we all want. So again, my thanks to everyone that's here today for coming out and blessing this new facility that we're going to have. We think it's going to be a treasure. It's being built for the 20 years needs of the police department, but in actuality, this will be the headquarters, the administrative headquarters of the Edmond Police Department for at least the next 50 years. This is truly going to be a major impact on the city of Edmond, but most particularly the men and women of the Edmond Police Department. Thank you so much for your support.
This facility will also house two very important groups of teams, the public safety communication team and the emergency management team. So up next, their director, Matt Stillwell.
Good morning, and boy, you know, we've just been anticipating this day for quite some time. After many years of justifying and planning, we're finally breaking ground on a facility that is not only sorely needed in the community, but one that brings us up to date and postures us to successfully conquer the challenges we face in a world of ever-changing operations, technology, and personnel issues. Our public safety communications and emergency management departments currently provide high-quality 911 dispatch, emergency management, technical, and alarm coordination services to our citizens and internal customers. Our new 911 center will not only house the latest in 911, 800 megahertz radio, computer-aided dispatch, and station alerting technology, but will also offer an environment that is ergonomically correct and designed to align with our business model to process emergency calls for service in the least amount of time while maintaining the highest level of integrity of the information that we gather and disseminate. One of our mottos is dispatchers save seconds, and seconds save lives. This center will allow us to improve on what are already outstanding call processing times. The environment we are creating in the new center will have a significant positive impact on our employees as well. Ergonomic workstations with proper lighting, sound, and environmental considerations will complement existing initiatives to increase employee retention, employee satisfaction, and overall working conditions. The new Emergency Operations Center will give us the space and facilities we need in order to respond to the many different emergencies and disasters and crises that we face here in Edmond. When asked to describe what the role of emergency management is, I often respond by saying that we plan and we educate the public and we respond to things that we don't want to see happen, but we know that they do. This new facility will position us to even better respond to these situations, allowing us to pull both internal and external stakeholders together during events, which will result in more effective and seamless responses. The technical considerations going into this facility will be brought to a whole new level. National Emergency Number Association and National Fire Protection Association technical standards are being met as part of this project. Disaster recovery, backup emergency power, and redundant communication pathways are just a few examples of how this facility will allow us to continue to provide mission-critical, life-saving services even when the worst happens. This is going to be a great project. I'd like to thank the Edmond City Council, the citizens of Edmond who have supported this project and who through the electoral process have provided us the funding that we need. I'd like to thank the Edmond Police Department. They're our partners in this project. The close proximity of our departments now will certainly enhance the provision of emergency services here in Edmond. I thank my dedicated and very talented staff. I thank them for the job that they do each and every day, and I also thank them for their efforts particular and specific to this project. Thanks also to our architects and the many other city employees who've played such a significant role in this project so far. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize all of our public safety partners that are here today, from the law enforcement, from the emergency management, and from the 911 community. Some of these partners will play a significant role in the success of this project, and all of these partners have partnered with the City of Edmond in providing and enhancing emergency services to the community. So in summary, I'd like to say that we've waited a long, long time for this. And we've spent an enormous amount of time in planning. Moving forward, there's still a huge amount of work to be done. My staff and I, along with our partners and stakeholders, are ready for the challenge. Thank you.
We'd now like to bring up Philip McNair with FSB, who we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for their hard effort up until this point.
Thank you. Good morning. You don't know how daunting it is to be standing here in front of you today with this many officers in uniform looking over your shoulder. But on behalf of the design team of Frankfurt Short Brugia, architects and engineers, and our public safety consultants, MWL Architects of Phoenix, Arizona, I want to say congratulations to the city and citizens of Edmond for reaching this significant milestone here today. While it has been 5 years for us as architects and engineers in the planning of this facility, we know it's been much longer for the police department, the communications department, and the city of Edmond. But the wait has been and will be well worth it as we celebrate today the start of construction of this wonderful new public safety center facility. The design of a project of this complexity can only be successfully completed by a dedicated team of designers. And I wish to acknowledge the efforts of several of FSB's architects and engineers who have poured themselves into the design and creating this wonderful facility. John Osborne is our lead architect, design architect. James Lakowski, project architect. Sharon Richardson, who's here today, our interior designer. Dr. Tom Bush, our structural engineer. Mitch Abla, mechanical engineer. Pat McCarty, electrical engineer. Russ Ketra, civil engineer, and Dave Gurley, our project manager, along with the assistance of MWL architects Dave Wilson and Rick Rayfelt. Even more passionate than the designers of FSB and MWL are the users of the Public Safety Center facility, the Police, Central Communications Department, Emergency Management, and Dispatch Department. These men and women are some of the most passionate and engaged professionals with whom we have ever worked. Their dedication to perfection, commitment to correctness and completeness, and desire to achieve the highest quality at an affordable cost is truly outstanding. The citizens of Edmond are in excellent hands with these professionals leading the way. Many thanks are in order to the following City of Edmond individuals who have helped make this project what it is, and we've already mentioned several of them, but I want to just mention a few more. Randy Drew is project manager and engineering coordinator. Chief Ricks and Major Steve Thompson from the police department. Matt Stillwell from communications. As mentioned, city manager Larry Stevens and the mayor Charles Lamb, and of course the council members who helped make this happen, Victoria Caldwell, Elizabeth Weiner, Darrell Davis, and Nick Massey. This core team never lost focus as to the needs of the police and communications departments and held steadfast in the pursuit of achieving a sound, high-quality new public safety center facility. In closing, I hope you will join me in envisioning a beautiful, highly functional, state-of-the-art, 4-story, red brick and cast stone new facility sitting right here on this site, as we all look forward to being back here in just under 2 years, Dave, if you can make it happen, to cut the ribbon on this new public safety center facility. Thank you.
Here to speak about the next phase of this project is the CEO of Timberlake Construction, Dave Timberlake.
Thank you. Unlike Philip, I don't find it daunting. I find this backup very comforting. And I think that's a good thing. I'm here at the request of President Brian Timberlake, who's out of town, and I'm happy to fill in for him at any time. The Timberlake family, by the way, all of whom are Edmond residents, and the Timberlake employees, many of whom are Edmond residents, are delighted to be involved in this project and to continue our relationship with the City of Edmond and with projects in Edmond. We go back a long ways with many projects in Edmond, building a couple right now, including your previous Cross Timbers facility, which we had the pleasure of constructing, and are looking forward to doing this one as well. I might just point out a couple of players that you're going to see a lot of. Senior Vice President Robert Renshaw will be the officer in charge. Don Elder will be the superintendent on the site. Brandon Cheney in the red shirt will be the project manager. His assistant Kai Park will be assisting him. Casey Logue is our safety manager, and he will be making sure that this is a zero accident, 100% safe project. And Steve Callender is Vice President of Operations, will also have an involvement with this job. And Leslie Dean is the project administrator. That's how it'll all happen and get done, so that's the one you need to pay attention to. We are very excited about continuing this relationship and excited about this fine project, and look forward to working with Philip and your team and all of the fine people of Edmond where we live and work. Thank you. We'll see you back here in a couple of years.
We're done. And digging. We're done. Yeah.